Hey guys! So one thing that I really enjoy adding to my costumes whenever I can is jewelry. I think that a little bit of jewelry making can really take your costume or cosplay up to the next level without a whole lot of extra work, which is really nice. As you can see, I'm doing that with my steampunk corset here with this beaded chain that I'm going to be showing you how I make today. I thought it would be fun to show you guys how I make jewelry with one hand. I'll give you a tutorial as we go along, so if you need to use two hands, I think you can figure it out. But this is how I do it, so enjoy! So this is my lizard. He wanted to be in the video too. So as far as tools go though, I like to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm actually only using 3 tools today. So you definitely need some round nose pliers, that's super important, as well as some regular pliers and some wire clippers. And these are just jewelry specific tools that you can get at any craft store, not to be confused with pliers that you would use to work on your car. I don't know if you use pliers to work on cars, but you know what I mean. You're also going to need some eye pins, which are just a straight pin that already have a loop at one end, as well as some jump rings. I'm gonna use some big ones to sew onto my corset, as well as some smaller ones for the chains. And then I'm using some lobster clasps. And these are just gonna go on the ends of our chains to attach to those jump rings so that our chains are really easily removable when we need to wash our corset. And beads. You should definitely get beads. You're gonna need a lot of those. Get a good variety. I like chains that have like all kinds of different ones on them. I think it's fun. And that's it. So I'm gonna start off by using my round nose pliers, and you can totally use these with your hands if you need to, but I actually prefer to use my armpits. You know, I think that most people just aren't aware of how useful their armpits are. I mean, look at this. This is like a whole extra hand right there. It's true though, I am really about to use my armpit, so. So I'm gonna start out with an eye pin, which is just a straight pin that already has a loop on one end. And I'm going to just grip that with my tool here. And then I'm gonna take one of my beads, which this one is just a faux pearl that already has a hole pre-drilled into it. You can get these at pretty much any craft store. And we're just gonna set that on top of the eye pin. So now I need to create a loop on the other side. So I'm going to grip it here with my tools a little bit up the shaft. And then I'm just gonna use my finger, although you can use another tool if you want, to just kind of bend that wire around. So now you can see we have some excess going on. So we need to clip that off. And I find it's best if we just position our clipper tools right there between the bead and our tools and clip that off. And so now we have just enough of a hook that should loop around pretty well for us. So the first thing I like to do is actually grip the middle and pull the bead back a little bit, and that'll just help center our loop when we make it. And then towards the front here, we're just gonna use our tool to just finish wrapping that loop around. And ta-da! We have a bead that has 2 loops on either end. So now that we have all of our pretty chain bead pieces, we're going to start putting them together. So now that we have all the pieces of our chain, we need to put them together. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to put the bead on one end of our round nose pliers, and we're just gonna very gently open up one of those loops. So it doesn't have to be much, like literally just enough that we will be able to put the next piece on there. Now I'm gonna grip the closed end here with my pliers, and I'm going to carefully insert the second piece of beaded chain on there, and I'm going to use my regular pliers to just gently close that up. And ta-da! We have our first piece of chain. And you're just going to do that again and again, about 20 more times until your whole chain is completed. So now we have a couple of chains ready. We're going to put them together and add a lobster clasp for the last step. So I'm going to switch back to regular pliers for this next bit, and I'm just going to use a very small jump ring here, and I'm going to grip it with my pliers close to the opening, and then I'm going to take my other tool and just gently pry that open. You don't have to do it much, literally just enough to put your 2 ends of the chain in there. And so I'm going to add my 2 chains as well as a lobster clasp. And then I'm going to use my other tool to just very gently twist that back into place. And voila, you have your chain ready to go. Now to attach the chain to the corset, you can see on the inside on the lining I've sewn these little jump rings, and I'm just going to use my lobster clasps to hook it on there, and then also to hook it on to this other one on the other side. And voila, a lot of extra oomph, quick and easy.